Imagination is more important than knowledge. Creativity doesn't come from pressure, it comes from presence. That my most aligned ideas emerge not in meetings, but in stillness. And that my energy is my greatest asset. Welcome to Mastery Podcast, where entrepreneurs and experts uncover the truth about health, wealth, and personal mastery. I'm Dr. Sas, and together we dive deep into strategies that elevate your business and well-being beyond mainstream advice. Get ready for powerful stories, expert insights, and transformational knowledge. So it is about afternoon, right? The sun is overlooking the Chiang Mai mountains here. I'm sitting here on the fourth floor of this beautiful hotel in Chiang Mai, and it is the Marriott Chiang Mai. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous place, and this is our favorite place to stay while we're here in Chiang Mai. And I'm sitting here right beside the pool, and sitting in there is one meeting room right near the pool where it is air conditioned. I'm in here just because I'm recording this video right now, but in a little bit I'm gonna go outside, and the city below is moving, buzzing, and it is peaceful up here. So there's no rush, no noise, just the light, the soft breeze, and the smell of this beautiful flower right next here to the pool. It's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And in this stillness, I'm reminded why I come here. And I come here to pause, to recalibrate, and to step out of just all those crazy meetings, crazy deadlines, and the growth plans, and the whole 9 yards, and just to breathe, right? And this trip isn't about escaping or vacationing at all, and it's about creating a space of strategy, right, and clarity and alignment, checking in with my team maybe once or twice a week, but mostly checking in with myself. We're not here to do the touristy thing, of course. We're here to just be, to slow down, to immerse in the culture that value and honors presence and peace, and to remember how much power there is in simply pausing. So if you're an entrepreneur, always chasing the next milestone, this episode is definitely for you, because this isn't just about traveling, it's about strategy. It's about strategy through stillness, and how slowing down may be the most powerful move you make. And there is a misconception in entrepreneurship that if you're not grounding, you fall behind. And that's what everybody thinks. But science and some of the world's most brilliant minds said otherwise. They said something different. They said when we rest, our brain doesn't power down. It actually lights up in a whole different way. It taps into something called the default mode network, right? Default mode network. It is a part of the brain that activates during quiet wakefulness. This is when we are not focusing on any external tasks, but rather we are daydreaming, reflecting, and letting our thoughts drift. And research shows this is where creativity lives. And this is where you integrate ideas, you solve problems, you even plan your next moves. And it's your brain's way of making sense of everything you've been absorbing while in motion. One study published in Neuroscience and Behavioral Reviews found that rest and daydreaming significantly improve memory consolidation and future planning. Another study found that meditation and simply doing nothing, yes, nothing. Actually strengthens the default mode network and helps regulate emotions. So if you've ever had a breakthrough idea in the shower, during a walk, or while laying by the pool, it's not a coincidence. That's biology doing its magic. And it's something high performers have known for years. Bill Gates, for example, he takes what he calls think weeks twice a year. He would go off the grid, just him, a stack of books, and a journal. He said many of the Microsoft most game-changing ideas came from these quiet weeks of reflection. And Steve Jobs swore by walking. And you know, any of you who know me, you know that I'm a fan of Steve Jobs. I read his book. I use all his stuff. I use the MacBook. I use my iPhone. I'm just a fan of Apple and the creation of it. But Steve Jobs, the creator of all this, he said he held walking meetings because he believed movement spark clearer, more creative thinking. And a Stanford study backs him up, showing that walking boosts creativity by up to 60%, y'all, up to 60%. And then there's Albert Einstein, right? The poofy hair scientist guy who once said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Einstein would spend hours daydreaming, visualizing problems, and letting ideas take shape long before he ever put pen to paper. So if this world changes swore by stillness, it's not laziness to pause. Maybe it's the smartest thing you could do for your next big move, right? So next thing I'm going to talk about the Chiang Mai Effect. I am here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. You all, as entrepreneurs, we often treat rest like a reward. But here in Chiang Mai, I learned it's a requirement. And one of the things that make the biggest difference for me on this trip is the massages. Yes, you all, the massages. We've been getting massages almost every single day. And I'll tell you right now, it's not about luxury or pampering at all. It's healing, deep healing. And if you guys, work on the laptop, on the computer, on the mouse, right? Me too. You have this neck pain or shoulder pain and back pain and stuff like that. And to get the massages is really healing. It's de-stress you. And what I found out was before we left the US, I was tense. I was like locking up tight. The first few months of this year, we've been just like hitting the ground running. We have our different launches of different programs. We have team building. We had nonstop Zoom calls, and I was running full speed. And I didn't realize how much it was taking out of me until I stopped. So when Pascal and I planned this trip, our number one goal was simple, right? To rest, to restructure, and to reconnect with nature, reconnect with ourselves. And part of that reset, giving our bodies permission to soften. So here in Chiang Mai, massages is a way of life, and at least that's what I think. Maybe not for everybody, but it's not just for the tourists. The locals value this too. They have this Thai massages. I mean, people like y'all, if you haven't have a Thai massage, they use everything. They use their elbow, they use their knuckles, their fists, their feet, their body weight, and it's like the whole 9 yards. And you will get bent, get stretched, it's not like relaxing, but it's therapeutic. My dad, when I was growing up, I remember seeing him. He was an entrepreneur back then. He did real estate. He export durian to Singapore and all those stuff. And I remember eating durian by the wazoo. And durian is a stinky food, but it's very healthy, and people love it. It is spiky fruit, and inside is this yellow golden thing. But anyway, my dad did that back then, and we have a privilege of eating a lot of durian. So I remember those days and seeing my dad really value getting massages, getting stretch, and getting even he took micro naps, and I didn't understand that back then, but it is important to rest, and it was normal, and it was healthy, right? And it turns out science backed that up, y'all. Massages supports the lymphatic system, which helps the body detox and fight illness, right? You squeezing out all those toxins, and it get released through your lymphatic system. And a study in Cleveland Clinic explains how it stimulates the flow of lymph during the inflammation and swelling. So this is like it has been proving that this is healthy. It also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that helps us rest, digest, and relax. It brings cortisol levels down, lowers your heart rate, and even helps you regulate your mood. And perhaps most importantly, it creates a reconnection between the body and the mind. When your body is in survival mode, your mind is also in the survival mode. But when you invite your body to let go, the mind follows. Right? That's why massages are important. And guess what? You can get 1 hour massage here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, as little as $7. Yes, really. Even the fancier places now, the $7 one, less than $10 one for an hour massage is so cheap, right? If you take the US dollar and spend it here. And this is where you walk down the street, the market, and they have like shops on the side. And the fancier place maybe, an hour massage, maybe less than $100. It's probably $40, $50, but it is so super affordable. And the luxury massages in the US, I believe, is like a couple $100 for the 2 hours, right? So here you get it at a fraction of the price. And for me and my husband, we're like, we just want therapeutic massage, $7, the way the local people do it, we are cool with it. And there's truly no excuses for not taking care of yourself while you're here, because everything is so affordable for us here. But it's not just the massages that we do here. We do the walking too. Almost every night we take this walk through the Chiang Mai night bazaar, and where we stay, we just walk out of the hotel and the night bazaar is there. So it's super convenient for us. And this is the street market, right? And we if you know us, me and my husband, we are minimalists. So we really don't like to collect stuff. We just go, we buy the things, maybe a couple things here and there, but we mainly go there to observe, to experience. And the energy is different, and it's also your mindset, right? The way you look at things, the way you look at the people, observe the activity around you depends on your being, your intention. So my intention is just to observe and to have that gratitude, right? I see families, I see artists who draw, I see people who cook, tailors who make clothing and stuff like that, and they all set up their stalls, right, laying out their handmade goods, their street food, their paintings, their pride and joy. And they do it every single day. They set it up, they sell their stuff, and then they take it down after midnight, rain or shine. It will be pouring out. They will take out this plastic thing and cover up their their little stall. And there's something powerful about witnessing all this stuff. It humbles you. It reminds you of what really matters. And for me, it's the nightly practice in being present for them, right? That's part of what I call anyway, the Chiang Mai Effect. The people here, they don't rush at all. They take their time, they go, Sawadee ka, they always really, and if you don't know the culture, it may bug you for a little bit, because when sometimes they drag out their tonality a little bit, really like slow and kind of, like really flow. And you see how they move, but just really not so fast, right? They serve food, they greet you, and it's not that they are lazy. It's the presence, it's the peace, right? And Chiang Mai is the second largest city in Thailand, and it in the north. That's where I grew up. I was born in Bangkok, but I grew up here in Chiang Mai. And if you go to Bangkok, the Oriental city, right? You know that song, the pace pick up a whole lot, right? It's like going up a huge notch. It's more westernized. Bangkok is more hustle. Even my niece, I was talking to her the other day. She lived in Bangkok for a while, like for like 8 months or so. She told me that she loves it because she's a young person, right? But when she said when she come back to Chiang Mai, it was like slowing her entire nervous system down. People are just more laid back here, and you can feel it. You breathe deeper, you think clearer, you walk slower, not because you are unproductive, but because you're just becoming more present, becoming more aware of your being. And that's for me anyway, probably not for everybody, but that's my intention of being here. And that's what I want you guys to take from this episode, right? Whether you are here in Thailand or just trying to create a pocket of peace in your own city, in your own area, in your home, find your Chiang Mai, find your rhythm again, find your breath, find your being, your skin suit, your body. That's where your next breakthrough is hiding. You want to find that. Before arriving in Chiang Mai, I was entrenched in, like I mentioned at the beginning, right? A relentless pace of work, tense, overwhelmed, and just like any business owner, we all do that. We get caught in a cycle of constant busyness. The first quarter of the year, like I told you guys, it's been a whirlwind, leaving little room for reflection, little room for creativity. However, when I stepped into this environment, it was just like telling my body to slow down. And it initiated a profound reflection and transformation within me. I had this daily ritual of mindfulness, nature, not quite nature, just the slowness, the stillness. We have this little pocket of um, peacefulness for us in within this hotel. Um, you know, kind of secluded us from this busyness of the city life, and the culture engagement of the people here, the workers here. It's just begin to peel away the layers of stress, um, peeling the layer of onion, right? Creating this space where creativity could flourish and bring you to the center, bringing me to the center. Anyway, so let's talk about the neuroscience behind this shift. Scientific research support the idea that periods of rest and mindfulness can enhance creative thinking. The brain's default mode network, and the scientists, they actually coin this term default mode network, is called DMN. is active during restful states. It plays a crucial role in self-referential thought and imagination. Engaging in mindfulness practice can modulate the activity of DMN, which is default mode network, right? Promoting mental clarity and emotional regulation. And you guys can check this out on PubMed, and I will put the link there, and just read the article, do some research about DMN. And moreover, mindfulness practice have been shown to improve skill set related to creativity, such as cognitive flexibility and emotional regulation. In closing, y'all, my personal breakthrough during this trip so far, in this peaceful setting, I experienced a resurgence of creativity and clarity. Ideas flow more effortlessly, and I reconnect within the core purpose of my work more. And this is the purpose of this trip anyway. And as an entrepreneur, the creator, the change maker, the business owner, you want to take this time. And for me, this environment helped allow me to realize that I am the creator of my reality. I am capable of manifesting ideas into tangible outcomes. And this period of intentional stillness not only rejuvenate my mind, but also realign me with my mission, enable me to approach my business with renewal, focus, and purpose. Entrepreneurs out there, high achievers out there, we often fall into the trap of perpetual motion, believing that constant activity creates the productivity, right? However, without moments of pause, there's little opportunity for reflection, innovation, or genuine connection with one's purpose. So embracing periods of stillness can lead to significant breakthroughs, both personally and professionally. It's in these moments that we can reassess our goals, realign our values, and foster the creativity necessary for meaningful progress, right? We all need this. And as we wrap up this episode, y'all, I just want to say that this trip has already shifted me. And we're only just getting started. This is a long trip for us. It's over 2 months long, and we are going to different places, and not to explore the outside, but to explore the inside, to get away from the busyness of the business, right? And it's already shifted me. It's been just a few weeks, and being here in Chiang Mai reminded me that sometimes the best move we can make isn't to push harder, but it is to step back, to breathe, and to be. And in that space, that's where the clarity lives, right? That's where the breakthroughs come through. And what I've learned so far, again, that is that creativity doesn't come from pressure. It comes from presence. That my most aligned ideas emerge not in meetings, but in stillness. And that my energy is my greatest asset. And preserving it requires me to pause, not power through. That reconnecting with nature, with my body, with my values, that's not a luxury, that's a strategy. And if you are an entrepreneur, here's what I recommend. Build in white space. And you know what? You don't have to be an entrepreneur. It's anybody. If you are an entrepreneur, you are a human being. If you want to improve your state of being, here's what I recommend. Build in the white spaces. Don't wait until you crash to pause, right? Build in those white spaces to pause already before you feel the stress. Secondly, take a walk without your phone, even 20 minutes of presence. can shift your mindset and book that trip, whether it's a trip to the park, a trip to a massage. It doesn't have to be a trip to Chiang Mai, right? Invest in the reset, and it's all in here. Reset. And fourth thing, learn from the culture that prioritize balance over burnout. Places like Chiang Mai can teach us how to live well and build wisely. And you don't have to fly across the world and to visit Chiang Mai. And people who live here, I suggest that you just take advantage of where you live. And whether you live in Chiang Mai, whether you live in a country, and take advantage of the place that you're at, and live well. Take the time to really reconnect, and most of all, you all trust that slowing down doesn't set you back, it sets you free. And I just want to thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in to Mastery Podcast. If this episode inspired you or gave you something to think about, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, pass it along, because we rise by lifting others. And until next time, y'all, stay grounded, stay intentional, and keep mastering your path. Dr. Sa signing off. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.